Hey guys, this is Soccer7, and I'm here to do a review on my Pele 1970 firm ground cleats. Alright, it's been a while since I've done this, so hang with me. Overall, I'd just like to say that these Pele cleats are, they're classically styled, if you couldn't notice, and they're classically, they feel classic as well. So, I'd like to start out with the upper, which is probably the most important part of the cleat. The Pele 1970 is a completely kangaroo covered shoe. So kangaroo leather is the main upper, the main leather in the upper, and it does a very, very, very good job of controlling your touch, and it's very comfortable. So those of you that don't know the difference between leather's quality, kangaroo leather is the highest form of and the highest quality of leather that they make on a soccer shoe. And you know, there are obviously opinions to whether you can like kangaroo or you can like, you know, there's Golio and there's calfskin. There are qualities, different, you know, perks per se to each one. Kangaroo leather isn't the most durable of calfskin or ULTK, but it is definitely the most comfortable and the most form-fitting, and it's going to give you the best touch, for sure, without a doubt. So these Pele cleats do the best job, I think, pretty close to the best job I've ever seen or ever felt when it comes to receiving passes and passing myself. So the kangaroo leather is insane. It's very, very, very supple, and I don't know if you guys have seen my Adipure 2 cleat review, but I announced that those cleats I have the best touch I've ever felt in my entire life, and they still do. These are just under it, just minusculely under it. And the reason I say that is the leather in this is insane, but it's a little thicker, which I guess gives it like a more padded feeling, but it's also a little heavier, which for my preference, I prefer a little more lightweight. But it's all what you guys like. It's an opinion. So when it comes to that, these are a little heavier on the heavier side, because the leather goes all the way up the entire forefoot and the entire midfoot, all the way back to the heel. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. This stitching line right here is where the kangaroo leather actually stops, way back, right where the heel counter starts. And the same on the other side. This is all kangaroo leather, all kangaroo until this yellow stitching line. Not sure if you guys can see it or not, but so the comfort in this shoe is literally just insane. It's crazy. It's probably the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn because of the kangaroo leather and how far it goes back into your foot. Now, with that does come a little stability issue. I don't know if it would be called stability or not, but what it comes down to is the kangaroo leather is going to stretch no matter what. If you have a tight enough shoe and it feels tight at first, it's going to stretch if it's kangaroo leather, just like this. And the reason that most cleats don't have kangaroo leather all the way back is because most people these days prefer a snug fit in the in the midfoot. So from here-ish, between my fingers and here, just for passing and shooting and a more consistent feel. And these, like I said, are more classically based, so they don't give that, but it's a much more comfortable feel. So if you're willing to trade a little snugness for comfort, these are your shoes. These are very, very comfortable once again. I think another another classical style of the shoe is the fold-over tongue, which you don't see very often these days. But as you can see, this tongue right here is just ginormous. It's huge. I think the last shoe I've seen it on was the Predator Power Swerve. I had this as well, and it's got a little. It's just a lace cover basically, but the tongue folds over, and you can attach it at the bottom of the shoe with this little elastic strap right here. And it just covers the laces, which it really doesn't do a whole lot. I've never been a big fan of lace covers, but again, it's just a classic kind of thing, and I kind of enjoy it. It kind of makes me almost feel like I stand out in the pitch a little bit more. But the black colorway as well, very classical, and an all-black shoe is pretty sharp if you think about it, at least in my opinion. Okay, so I've covered the upper, the tongue, and I guess we'll go with the laces. The laces I think are pretty well. They do their job. I mean, of course, they're just laces, but they tie together and they stay together if you do tie them well. Alright, go to the insole, or the sock liner. Not sure what it's called really. This has a pour-on insert in the bottom of it, which I guess makes it a little more comfortable, if you will. And as you'll notice, it is a pretty wide shoe. It doesn't have a whole lot of athletic curves, and but that's what makes it so comfortable. So it's a pretty wide fitting shoe. It will fit anyone. I don't have the widest of feet, but I also don't have the narrowest. I have a feeling I'm pretty average when it comes to the width of my feet compared to most players. So these will fit fine for anyone that would like to try them. And onto the sole, I suppose. The sole plate on the bottom. It's fairly rigid. You're not going to get a whole lot of flexibility, which I prefer not to have a whole lot of flexibility. I mean, to flex this way is one thing, you know, and it does just as much as you need. Really not a whole lot, but it's got a good reflex on it too. And I did notice that the studs are pretty bulky, which is another thing of the past, you know, classic. The studs are pretty big, and so it gives you good traction, but not the greatest mobility. I found, at least. I did almost feel sluggish in these shoes, so you know, I guess you can try it for yourself. And I actually picked these up for really cheap. I think they're originally maybe $170. It might not be that much. Maybe $150, $170, somewhere in there. But I picked them up for like $35 on shoebacca.com, like Chewbacca from Star Wars. BACCA.com if you're interested. Anyway, back to the sole. It's plastic. It's really nothing special. Kind of cool, I guess. It's got a neat logo on the bottom, and it's got you know, it says Pele right here. Kind of cool, but really, you know, it's just your average sole plate. It does have a good, like I said, rigidity. So for shot power, and that's, you know, the way I really judge shot power is by the rigidity of the sole, because the flex, you don't want it to flex too much, and it does in the front a little, but in the middle it really doesn't flex a whole lot. And like I said, it's a pretty heavy boot, so if you can get your foot swinging, it's going to swing through the ball and it's going to hit it true. And for me, I normally, like when I wear, I guess it depends on the shoe, when I wear a shooting boot, you know, like a Predator or a Total 90, or what else? The Power Cats. I normally, or even a speed boot like a Mercurial for sure, or an F50. I like to knuckle the ball if I can, and I found it a little bit more difficult with these. Just like I said, it's more of a classical, more of a classic shoe, and not that they didn't have knuckleballs, back then, but the straight true shot, like the Paul Scholes shot, backspin, slow backspin that's just gonna rise, or a Xabi Alonso kind of shot. Not that they can't knuckle the ball, they just struck through the ball, and that's what this is made for. So come down to sizing was another thing, because it is a full kangaroo leather shoe, so it's going to stretch a lot. And I actually ordered a half size down. I got these in a size 9 compared to my usual size 9.5 in most Adidas lines. I think every Adidas line, but I haven't worn Nike really. Puma I normally wear a size 10. So I ordered a size 9, and they were just the tiniest, slightest bit big. And with the kangaroo stretching and everything all added together, I think I would have liked a full size smaller. So I normally wear a size 9.5, US, in Adidas. I would have liked to get these in an 8.5, a full size smaller. So they run fairly. These run fairly. How they go big. So yeah, I would have liked to get these in an 8.5 compared to my regular size 9.5. So just for reference, if you guys are thinking about getting a pair, and I know they're probably not in the highest demand out there. So like I said, that one website, shoe like a shoe, Bacca, BACCA.com. They do have them, I think, for like $40 if you're interested. White, yellow, green. They might still have some black ones too, but yeah, that's my take on the Pele 1970 firm ground cleat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and comment, and hopefully subscribe. Thanks, guys.